Good morning, children. How are you all in lockdown time? Are you doing good? I hope you all are so good. So welcome to our session. Today we are going to discuss about the microorganisms around us. Already we are facing the same problem. We all are at home due to COVID-19. Everybody knows that. It was troubling and making us too afraid for the present scenario. And you are going to learn more about the microorganisms today. So what's our today's topic is? Yes, it is microorganisms. Are the microorganisms only harmful for us or are also useful for us? Yes, definitely. They are not only harmful creatures, they are also useful for us. That's why we can call them as microorganisms friends and foe. Our topic is microorganisms friend and foe. In present scenario, you are listening more about COVID-19 and coronavirus and all, right? But these microorganisms cannot see with our naked eyes at all. It was a tiny living organism and nobody can see with the naked eyes. We use only the apparatus to see the microorganisms. So, what are microorganisms means? Microorganisms are tiny living creatures Microorganisms are the tiny living creatures where we cannot see them with our naked eyes. Then how can we know about the microorganisms? How can we identify them? How to study about them? So for that purpose we are using an apparatus, science laboratory apparatus we are using. Those are the apparatus are here. Are you able to see? So these apparatus are known as microscopes. So what we are using to see the microorganisms? We are using microscope to see the microorganisms. What we are using to see the microorganisms? We are using microscopes to see the microorganisms. Now we will see our apparatus one by one, how far they are useful for us to find about the microorganisms. Once you see this laboratory item apparatus is known as magnifying lens. So this magnifying lens helpful for us to see the object or the object image of the object looks bigger. So to see the images bigger, we are using this magnifying lens. And the next apparatus is, this is known as dissection microscope, where we use this dissection microscope to observe the external parts of the organism. These are the lens. This is the area. This is the area where we can see, and we'll keep the object in this place. And through this we can observe the organism's external features to see. More we'll use this microscope. This microscope name is dissection microscope. And this is the compound microscope. It shows the image, very magnifying image we can see through this compound microscope. And after this compound microscope, the advanced microscope is electronic microscope. So through this, here in this compound microscope, two lens areas are there. The above lens we use to see the object and the below lens we use to keep the dissection part what we are going to observe. So this is the area we fix our slide, and through this lens we can observe the parts of the microorganism or any other object, whichever you want to observe this. So, what we are using to see the microorganisms? We are using microscopes, different microscopes to see the microorganisms. And the subject which we are using to know about the microorganisms is known as microbiology. The subject which deals with microbes known as microbiology, and the person who is studying about microbes is known as microbiologist. The person who is studying about microbes known as microbiologist, and the subject which deals with the microbes known as microbiology, and the operators we are using to see the microbes known as microscope. So, now we will do a small activity, children. Do a small activity, children, right? You take a watch glass and a drop of water. Place it on watch glass and adjust the watch glass under the microscope. Fix the watch glass and watch through the lens. Whenever you come to the science lab, do this activity and find out, are you finding any microorganisms? Are you finding any small organisms floating in this water? Definitely, you'll see some organisms floating in this water. Now, we'll do the another activity. Keep this slide aside and take another slide. Take a pinch of soil. Take 2 drops of water and mix it with soil. Now keep this slide under the microscope. Adjust the watch glass slide without moving and observe through the lens. We will be able to see some microorganisms are floating in the soil. So by these 2 activities, we can say that microorganisms are present everywhere. They are present in the air, they are present in the water, they are present in the soil. And not only this, microorganisms can survive in any type of environment. Some microorganisms can live at very high temperatures and some organisms can live even with low temperatures. So by this, you might have understood how to observe the microorganisms. Now we will see, are all these microorganisms, whichever harming to us or whichever friendly to us, are all the microorganisms same type? Not at all. There are different types of microorganisms. Now we are going to see the types of microorganisms. Now we will see the different types of microorganisms. So what we are going to study now? Types of microorganisms. There are different types of microorganisms like bacteria, fungi, protozoa, algae, and virus. So our COVID-19 comes under virus group. So in detail, we are going to read about each group now. The first group is protozoans. About the protozoans, we'll read now. Protozoans are the single cell organisms. Their whole body is made up of by single cell. Then comes to human beings. Are we single cell organisms or multicellular organisms? We are having different systems in our body, right? So we comes under multicellular organisms. We have n number of cells in our body. You will be reading about the cells in coming chapter. When we come to the protozoa group, they are the organisms made by only single cell. So the protozoans are single celled animals. Protozoans are single cell animals and they can perform all their activities through the single cell itself. I will draw the diagram of a protozoan and I will show you how its metabolic activities goes on. The example of protozoa is amoeba. So now we will see the structure. Now we will see the structure of amoeba. Amoeba belongs to the protozoan family. Protozoans are unicellular organisms. They are like animals and they can move. How they are moving, what body parts they are using, we'll see by the diagram of amoeba. This is nucleus. These are pseudopodia. Pseudo means false and podia means feet. Pseudopodia means false feet. They look like feet, but they are exactly not the feet of amoeba. It's only the cell membrane. They will extend the cell membrane when they are moving and they want to capture the food particle. They extend both the pseudopodias and they will capture the food particle. They engulf inside. So, inside the cytoplasm, we have nucleus and the cytoplasm is surrounded by the cell membrane. So only these are the parts present in amoeba. By using only these parts, amoeba can do various functions like moving, like capturing food and even excreting the waste materials. That is also can done by the help of cell membrane. And even the reproduction also takes place by the splitting of this nucleus. When nucleus is divided into two parts, each part can be lead into a daughter amoeba can arise from each part of the divided nucleus. So this process has a name, binary fission. So the process of binary fission, a single amoeba can give rise of two daughter amoebas. So n number of activities are going on in a single structure with the help of a single cell. These protozoans are all unicellular organisms. And one more example of protozoa we'll see. The structure of this organism is its name is Paramecium. So the Paramecium also belongs to the protozoan family, unicellular organism. And the structure of Paramecium looks like a slipper. Our slipper, how it looks, the structure of Paramecium looks like that. That's why Paramecium is also known as slipper animalcule. So this cilia of the Paramecium helps for the movement. And the same way remaining all other parts how amoeba is using, like cytoplasm and these cilia. Along with this, only this single cellular part, Paramecium can do all its activities. So these Parameciums are also microorganisms, and we can't see with our eyes. They are present in the water around us. So when by mistake, if these microorganisms, if these protozoans enters to our body, they lead to some diseases and like dysentery, malaria. Start. So the Paramecium also belongs to the protozoan family. With a single cell, it can do all its body functions. So these microorganisms like protozoans, if they enter into our body and they lead to harmful diseases like dysentery, malaria, such diseases will get through these protozoans. So one type of microorganism we are completed now. We'll move on to the next type of microorganisms. The second type of microorganisms are algae. The algae is nothing but a plant part. Why we will consider it as like a plant? Because it has a green color pigment. It's like a green patch floating on the water. It has a green patch which floats on water known as algae. It doesn't have any other plant parts like roots, stem or its flowers. It has only the plant part. Because of this plant part, everybody knows that the green color of the part comes because of a pigment present in this known as chlorophyll. So which pigment gives green color to the plants? Chlorophyll pigment. The same pigment present in algae which gives the green color to the algae. It's like a floating part in the water and it will use this chlorophyll for preparing its own food. So algae can make its own food and it has, like for example, if you take Spirogyra. Example for algae, Spirogyra. Spirogyra have fragments like this. By mistake, if any fragment has separated from the mother Spirogyra, the separated fragment can lead an independent life and it can grow into a daughter Spirogyra. So with the help of chlorophyll, it's preparing its own food, and it can also do the symbiotic relation with other microorganisms that in detail we'll read now. The next type of microorganisms are fungi. Before going to the fungi, we'll see the structure of algae once. These are the green color patches. These are the green color patches are nothing but algae. It can grow in the water and wherever the moisture is present. Near the moisture areas, this algae can present. And where in your home, near the water tanks and the plastic buckets, or wherever you are storing the water, in those water buckets or the drums or the water storage tanks, you can observe this sort of algae. If you want, you can even use this microscope to see the algae. As we did with soil and the water, you can take a small sample of algae . Place it on glass slide . Place it on glass slide. Add a small drop of water to this. Keep it under the compound microscope. Fix the glass slide without moving and observe through the lens. Now you can see the structure of algae very clearly. Now we will see the another type of microorganism, that is fungi. This fungi is saprophytic, it undergoes for saprophytic nutrition and it depends on the organic matter. You learned this already in class 7. Now we will see one example of fungi group. You take a bread sample and sprinkle some water on this. Sprinkle some water. Keep it in a dark place. For one day you leave the bread like that. And the next day when you observe this bread slice, you can see some hair-like structures grows on this bread sample. These are nothing but these hair-like structures which grows on bread or any other organic matter. Here we are taking only the example of bread mold. You can take any other type of organic matter, and when you leave in a dark place with moisture content, the fungi grows on that. So the first, when the fungi is growing, the hair-like structure which grows on the organic matter is known as hyphae. When hyphae matures, it grows like a filament structure. This filament name is sporangiophore. The filament name is sporangiophore. About the sporangiophore, a head-like structure appears. It's known as sporangium. The sporangium has inside the dot-like structures known spores. When sporangium gets matured, the sporangium, when it breaks, all the spores fall on the substrate again and can give lead to the another sporangiophore and sporangium. In this way, it spreads on the organic matter. So, it's a type of microorganism. When you see the bread mold, you will not be able to see all these parts. It can be seen a black color spreaded patches can be seen on the bread. But when you keep this fungus on slide and when you observe under the microscope, then you will be able to observe all these parts. But the thing is, fungi cannot make its own food like algae. Algae is having the chlorophyll. Because of this, it can make its own food. As the tendency see in your class, when two friends are sitting together, what you have, you will share with your friend. And your friend will be ready to share something what he has. That's known as mutual understanding. Same way, these organisms can undergo for mutual understanding and go for a type of nutrition. This nutrition is also you might have learned in your class 7. So they undergo a type of nutrition known as symbiotic nutrition. So now remaining two groups of microorganisms will be reading in our next class. So till now what we learned, once we will recapitulate, children. So what is the meaning of microorganisms? The tiny living creatures are known as microorganisms. The tiny creatures which can't be seen with naked eyes are known as microorganisms. So what we are using to see these microorganisms? We are using microscope to see the microorganisms. What we are using to see the microbes? We are using microscopes to see the microorganisms. And what we call the person who reads about microbes? Microbiologist. What we call the person read about microbes? Microbiologist. And the study of microbes known as microbiology. And microbes can live any type of environment, right from very hot places to very cool places. And we had seen the different types of microorganisms. How many types of microorganisms we are having? 5 types of microorganisms we have. Under the 5 types, how many types we learned now? 3 types of microorganisms we learned. What is the first group of microorganisms we have completed? Protozoans. Yes, protozoans are one of the microorganism group. And they are unicellular organisms. And they looks like animals and they float in the water. Which example we had studied? Amoeba and paramecium. So what are the examples for the protozoans? Amoeba is the example for protozoa. And paramecium is also example for protozoa. What is the next group we studied? We studied the algae. So in algae, what's the example we had seen? Spirogyra and Chlamydomonas. Chlamydomonas is also one of the algae which have flagellas like this for movement. So this is also having green color pigment, can make its own food. So the Spirogyra and Chlamydomonas comes under which group? Algae. What is the speciality of algae? Algae can make its own food. And the third group of microorganisms, what we have completed? That is fungi. Fungi we have completed. It's a saprophytic organism and it depends on organic matter. And through the spores, it can go for the reproduction. Okay children, so these are you prepare well, and in next class we'll read about the remaining microorganisms and their uses we'll be studying in detail.